Do you want to know how important it is to craft an excellent prompt to get the best results out of AI? I'm the productivity coach, and today I show you how. Hi, I'm Stuart Ridout, the productivity coach, and I work at Microsoft as part of our modern work and AI team. And today I'm going to do something a little bit more different, because normally I kind of showcase Microsoft products and look at kind of specific technologies and specific applications. But today I wanted to do something that's a little bit more general about kind of like a number of AI kind of chat systems that are out there, and just kind of reinforcing some of the importance about prompt generation. And it came from a video that I saw. I had a YouTube short that popped up in my feed today, and it kind of made me think, oh, I want to have a go at that and try that out and see how that works myself. So let's just have a look at this video.
If it takes 3 towels 3 hours to dry on the line, how long does it take 9 towels to dry? I asked this to ChatGPT, the AI chatbot, which is...
I love how they all just laugh. They've all assumed, they've already decided that it's going to get it wrong. All of this is a room of mathematicians. It's part of the Royal Institution lectures, and they've already decided that it's going to get it wrong, and perhaps it might, but we'll see.
It's designed to mimic human interactions, and this is what it said. If it takes 3 towels 3 hours to dry on the line, then it would take 9 hours for 9 towels to dry. And it gives this reasoning. It uses the correct reasoning because the drying time is directly proportional to the number of towels. If you double the number of towels, then you should double the amount of time it takes. And if you triple the number of towels, then you should triple the amount of time it takes. Clearly, if your line is big enough, it shouldn't take you any longer to dry 9 towels than it takes to dry 3 towels. But maybe this is the expected behavior for ChatGPT because it's trying to mimic human behavior, human interactions. And actually, I think if you asked a lot of people, that's maybe the answer that they would give, because again...
So this kind of feels like, like one of those Facebook kind of maths problems you see lots of people have. I see kind of like people who are like my parents' age sharing them around, and they all comment, and then it comes into your feed, and a lot of the time a lot of them are wrong, and that's partially because it's written in the way that's really ambiguous. If they wrote a really clear question, then everybody would be like, duh, the answer is whatever it is. But they write it in an ambiguous way so that people have different takes on how that's written, and therefore they give a different answer. And actually, kind of AI is no different because, as he says, it will mimic human interaction, and it depends on kind of how it's been trained and what its priorities are and things like this. So I thought I would have a go at this myself, and I thought I would try this out with three different AIs. So I'm going to try it out with ChatGPT, and I'm going to try it out with ChatGPT 3.5, and I'm also going to try it out with ChatGPT 4. I'm going to try it with Copilot, and I'm going to do it in precise, balanced, and creative mode. And then lastly, I'm also going to try it out with Bard from Google as well. So let's start off with ChatGPT 3.5, which I believe is what he used in his video. So if it takes 3 hours for 3 towels to dry on the line, how long does it take for 9 towels to dry? Question mark. Okay, and I suspect that we're going to get a very similar answer because I should imagine that this was what was used. So here it's saying if it takes 3 hours for 3 towels to dry, it means that each towel takes 3 hours to dry individually. So if you have 9 towels and each of them takes 3 hours to dry, you can multiply the drying time, and it's given us 27 hours. So it's kind of got there because it's saying, well, actually, this is the total time. Each towel takes 3 hours. So the total time is 27, and it's assumed in a linear fashion. So what I'm going to do is change it to ChatGPT 4 and stick the prompt in here. Now, the time it takes for towels to dry on the line is generally not dependent on the number of towels, as long as there is enough space on the line for them to be spread out properly and they're not overlapping significantly. Therefore, 9 towels will also take 3 hours to dry, assuming they're hung in a similar manner. So you can see here that with ChatGPT 4, which is a more advanced model, it understands this concept of towels on a line, whereas ChatGPT 3.5 has kind of approached it in this linear fashion. It kind of got the same gist. Now, I'm going to look at Copilot. I'm going to look at the 3 different modes here. So I'm going to start off with creative. Now, creative is quite good for writing stories and more creative work. So we might find that it kind of talks around the problem a little bit more, or does a bit more out of the box thinking. So here we put it in and we're saying this is a tricky question that requires some mathematical reasoning. Drying time is number of towels over drying rate. 3 towels, 3 hours. So I can already see where it's going here. So it said there's 3 towels. They take 3 hours to dry. It was 1 hour per towel. So 9 towels would be 9 hours. So this is kind of a classic error that we might see on something like Facebook or something like this. But interestingly, it said, and the spacing between them on the line. So it understands the concept of towels on a line, but it just hasn't quite necessarily applied it here. So let's see how we fare in balance mode. So 3 hours, 3 towels. How long does it take for 9 towels to dry? So we assume that time it takes for 3 towels is 3 hours, then 9 hours for 9 towels. So they've kind of just gone straight off doing that. And what's interesting, you can see that it's looked on the web here as well for that. So I'm going to go with more precise. So this really, hopefully I will see a better result here from. So if it takes 3 hours for 3 towels to dry, this means that 1 towel takes 3 hours to dry. So if you have 9 towels, each one takes 3 hours, it would take 3 hours for all 9 towels to dry. So what we're seeing here, let's give this a thumbs up because it's been a good AI. So what we're seeing here is that this is more similar to what we got through ChatGPT 4, because it's got this more precise model here, whereas balanced is more conversational and creative is kind of a longer, more wordy answer. Okay, so I'm going to lastly try it here with Bard. If it takes 3 hours, 3 towels, how long does it take for 9 towels to dry? And let's see what Google's come back with. So they've kind of gone similar here as we saw on Copilot Creative and Copilot Balanced. 9 hours for 9 towels. Each towel takes 1 hour to dry. So really varied here in different things. Now what was interesting was ChatGPT 4 and Copilot in precise mode both understood the concept of towels being on a line. So they knew that it was 3 hours because they knew that it didn't make any difference how many more towels you added onto the line. It's like that question that says if it takes 3 people 3 hours to dig a hole, how long does it take 3 people to dig half a hole? Or those kind of wordy problems you need to think about. So that's what we've got there. And as I said there in that when I was just on screen, what was interesting to me was that Copilot Creative gave the wrong answer and it approached it in this very linear fashion, but it did understand the concept of towels drying on a line because it talked there about line spacing and things like this. So let's now kind of ramp it up a little bit, and we'll just tweak that prompt and see if we can give the AI a little bit more of a helping hand by giving it a little bit more information, trying to clarify that problem, because obviously it's only as good as the prompt that you put in. So the more information you get, the better it is. So let's have a look here. So I'm going to go for a new chat here. And let's go back to 3.5. So reminder, this one got it wrong before. So I'm going to say if it takes 3 hours for 3 towels to dry on the line simultaneously, how long does it take for 9 towels to dry simultaneously? Okay, and I'll just copy that so I can reuse that again. So here we go. It takes 3 hours, 3 towels simultaneously. Each towel takes 3 hours. So you have 9 towels, same thing. Okay, so it's got it right now. Now, ChatGPT 4, hopefully this will still get it correct because we've given it the same amount. So 9 towels on the line simultaneously, each one dries in 3 hours. So exactly right. Let's give that a thumbs up. Oh, I need to type something. I'm not going to do that. Okay, so let's try this now with Copilot. So we'll stick with precise mode because that got it right before. So pop that in. So if 3 towels dry simultaneously, each towel dries independently, therefore 9 towels should also dry in 3 hours if they're all hung up to dry simultaneously. Okay, let's see how balanced gets on. Okay, so how long does it take? So unfortunately, this is still going with 1 hour to dry one towel. So we can see 9 hours there. Oh, and what was interesting there was that we just saw that this piece of information has come from a website. So it's saying how long do towels take to dry in a tumble dryer. So perhaps what it's got is a bit confused there about tumble dryers versus lines. So let's see how Creative does. Okay, and again, this is typically more for creative things. So it might talk its way around the problem here. So we're saying mathematical reasoning, proportional reasoning. So one towel takes 3 hours to dry on the line. Okay, so we want to find the multiple of another multiple unit, which is 9 towels. So drying time of 9 towels equals the drying time of 1 towel times the number of towels. So that's given us 27 hours. So this is better than we got previously. Because it's actually given us 27 hours. So each towel takes 3 hours. So 9 towels in total is 27 hours. You can see here that it's trying to talk its way around the problem. That somebody, in the same way that somebody else might argue that. So let's go here with a new chat in Bard. So same things we had before, including this simultaneous word. Since it takes 3 hours for 3 towels to dry on the line simultaneously, it would also take 3 hours for 9 towels to dry on the line simultaneously, assuming drying conditions remain constant. So this is really, really interesting because simultaneous, the use of the word simultaneous has clarified on some of those, and others it's changed the results a little bit. So interestingly, the creative mode on Copilot has kind of moved into this linear solution, where it said actually it knew that the towel did take 3 hours to dry, so it hasn't kind of reduced it down to 1 hour per towel, which is what we saw previously, but it has said, well, actually the total drying time for this is 27 hours. And this is the kind of scenario that actually, if this was like an exam question, they might end up giving that as a valid answer, because they might turn around and say, actually, it's not clear from the question that you wanted the elapsed time, but actually what it's done is the total time per towel multiplied by 9. So really, really interesting results there. So hopefully it kind of gets you just to understand the difference between the way that the prompt works and how that is kind of resolved. Now, I could do loads more of these videos. This is something a little bit different. So let me know in the comments if this is something you like. Also, please subscribe. I don't say that very often, but please subscribe. And if this is something you like and we just want to have kind of a play with it and see how these different AIs compare to each other, then I will just head on over to Facebook and find any of those maths problems that seem to appear in my feed all the time, and we'll have a go with those. So hopefully you found this fun, interesting, something like this. I would encourage you to check out the Royal Institute's lectures, because there is a full 1 hour lecture from this mathematician around this problem, and he goes off on different kind of tangents about, like, is it better to order 2 8-inch pizzas or 1 16-inch pizza, and just the different way that our brains work when we're solving these problems. But if you found this useful or fun, let me know. Check out some of my other videos around Copilot and how you can use that. Otherwise, I will see you again on another video.